swiper was out here trying to swipe some things that they had no business touching, and then all the meanwhile, you're out here losing your mind because of what they're doing, because of what they're taking, and you're finally getting better, but you're maybe going through a trauma response of some kind. But don't you worry, there is more on the way. So if you are new here, I'm your bestie on the internet. Duh. Hello. I'm your favorite YouTuber. I'm your cosmic cheerleader. I'm your chicken noodle soup for the soul, and sometimes sprinkle sprinkle your fairy godmother. So without further ado, let's get into today's channeled message. Hold my Barbies, hold my little dog too, grab my Oxogen, hold on to that for me, because I have something so important that I channeled for somebody in their hour of need. It's gonna be okay. The end of this cycle is finally here, but it is going to be okay. And I want you to finally have something to look forward to, because I'm seeing that this has caused a lot of aggravation in your life, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of stress. It's caused illness, mental illness. It's caused health issues. It's just caused a lot of stress in your life. So let's get into what happened, what caused all of this, and then what is going to be the outcome. I channeled that you have been silently suffering with something that is other people don't really have to deal with. See, you do things on a different scale. You're an entrepreneur, you're a chosen one, you're a light worker, you're in your purpose. You're doing things that other people just don't even have to deal with. They don't have to do the things that you're doing. And because of that, you might silently suffer, like nobody's going to understand that I've got to do this and that and this. And something happened within the last 1 to 5 years where you became ill, or you became sick, or you were so stressed that you never got back into a baseline that wasn't chaotic. So whenever this happened, the peak of this, you've been stuck in survival mode since, trying to create a new baseline of calm. But now you are having to close out this cycle or deal with it in a different way. And you could be really nervous, aggravated. You have a very low tolerance for the word or anything tied to it. So I'm getting that something was stolen from you. Something was taken from you, or something was really unfair. You had to pay something that was unfair. Somebody took something from you that was unfair. It was just downright dirty, unfair, and there was like nothing that you could do about it. And then on top of that, you felt ill, sick, or you went through a breakup. And so it was like this domino effect of bad things happening, and it kept you up at night. Now you've been trying to heal, but even keywords that are tied to this thing, this issue, is like, rah, like makes you freaking crazy. But it's understandable, because for so long you felt like the underdog, or you felt like there was a learning curve for something new that you were doing. So let's say you became a business owner and you're trying to figure out all the ins and outs of like accounting, paying taxes, doing all of these things, and you're like, I don't know what the frick I'm doing. And so there was a learning curve, and it was stressful, or maybe made you ill or sick, or you just didn't know how to handle it. And that is because you are constantly evolving. Let's say you got into a serious relationship and it was harder than you thought it was going to be. You're like, oh, love, I could do love. But then you were sabotaging it. You weren't ready to be vulnerable or get close to this person. Like there was something big going on in your life where you didn't know if you could actually handle it, or if it was going to be that easy. And then on top of that, there weren't a lot of key players or key people around you to say anything to, because what do they know? They're not in love. They're not an entrepreneur. They don't own a business. They're not in alignment for you. So you really were feeling alone. A lot of you were feeling unheard, because even if you did try to vent to somebody because you just needed to get it out, they didn't know what the frick you were talking about. And so it just made you feel like, well, what the frick? This is supposed to be something that's great, and it doesn't feel that great. This is something that I want to celebrate more. And maybe in the beginning you were celebrating it, and then family came into the picture, or in-laws came into the picture, or other responsibilities came into place where you had to adult more than you thought, or it was going to be harder. And there's always going to be challenges when we get a blessing. Not always, but with certain blessings. And it's like you felt blindsided. Oh my gosh, I met the love of my life, but their family sucks. Yes, they do. Or I'm finally working for myself and I don't know what the frick I'm doing. I'm just trying. I'm hanging on by a thread. So you took charge of your life and you really put in the work, and where you thought you were going to be able to celebrate a lot sooner, that got put on pause for a couple of years or a couple of months as you sorted out, again, the learning curve. So thinking about this all the time was very harmful to your life, dealing with this responsibility, having to put this on your plate, feeling like nobody understood you, or even if you're with someone and they listen, but they don't really know what you're dealing with, you are still feeling alone. So you could have had people around you, but still feeling like, I don't know. You thought you were doing the most towards something good, and it felt like a slap in the face because, again, something was stolen from you, or there were people meddling. So you could have had family members meddling in this new relationship. You could have had coworkers or other people, somewhat alliances, other business owners conspiring against you. There was something happening where there was intellectual theft. People were trying to steal the intelligence that you have, trying to piggyback off of your ideas, trying to ride your coattails, trying to siphon your money. So this made you sick because maybe you were able to handle it at the beginning, and then it got worse and worse and worse. So now you're just like you gave in to how hard it was. And I feel like whatever this was for you, it was one of the hardest things that you ever went through. Because it's not something that you've been familiar with. It wasn't something that was easy for you to learn. I'm getting that you had to become very disciplined in whatever this was, but I'm also seeing that there was a lot of theft around this relationship, around this business, around this blessing, around you trying to build something successful. People were being mean to you, like, oh, they're flexing, or they got a lot of pride, or they're insincere, they're just boasting. You weren't even out here bragging. But that's a story for another time. You guys were definitely dealing with some narcissists, so maybe you felt like you needed to run. You're like, I don't even know if I belong here anymore. You really felt like I have to deal with this, but I just want to run. And maybe you were looking for any form of being able to escape, like reading a book, wanting to be somewhere else, video games, actually running away, watching, binge watching TV, just not wanting to deal with this head on. And now it's here, and you're getting ready to close out this cycle to where you're not ever going to deal with this situation. You're never going to let it get the best of you again. You are never going to let whatever this is get the best of you, because you are not an imposter. You are not an impersonator. You are peeping what you want, and now there is someone in your corner, or now they're understanding how sick this made you, how sad, how disappointed, how triggered it made you. And now the new baseline is stop. I don't care. I'll deal with it when I deal with it. I am not going to stress about it like I did before. Everyone can fall back. So you have good news coming in. Despite how hesitant and defensive you had to be, how far you had to climb to get here, it's been a long battle for you to get to this point. But you do have really good news coming in, and you're going to be really happy with the outcome because you are supported. So the divine is trying to show you right now that you are supported because whoever is for you is going to be listening. Like, hey, that made you really ill, or it made you sick, or it made you really sad or depressed, and I don't want to see you like that again. So don't let this thing get to you. Like, don't ever let it get the best of you again. You don't need to be in survival mode or fight or flight for that. So that was a whole situation. The escapism, distracting yourself, the procrastination, in any way that you felt the spirit of delay. Then being able to communicate it like, hey, I'm not okay. And if no one's listening, then you guys just need to really fly a kite off a cliff. So now you have this success coming in, but you don't really see it just yet because you're a little bit scared. Like, well, every time I have to deal with this, it terrifies me. It scares me. It makes me nervous. And so you were running from this relationship or this situation because you knew it was harmful, you knew it was scary, you knew there was nothing that you could really do about it. So you had to work through this healing process. You had to work through why it was triggering you. You had to work through why it was bothering you. And I think the bottom line of why this was bothering you is because it's theft of some kind. Intellectual theft. Somebody that was impersonating you. This could have been a stalker. Somebody that was constantly trying to shock you, take you for a loop, take you for a ride, and you just felt broken by it. Like, I don't know how to fix this. It's not something I can just bypass. I hope what I'm saying is making sense for whoever this is. This was not something that you could bypass. Like, maybe you took a parent in and you're taking care of them, and then you're looking at all their debt and their medical bills, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, in some way, form, or fashion, these were not things that you could bypass. You couldn't just sweep them under a rug and forget about it. And anytime you tried to do that, it made you really, like, it made you sick or ill or, like, stress the frick out. Every time you had to deal with said situation, bill collectors, the paying whatever this is, dealing with whatever this is, it was always some more BS. It was always some more drama. Anything to put you back in this pressure cooker of chaos. And it made you feel desperate, like, oh, I'm going to have to work 3 jobs. I'm never going to be able to take a day off. Now you're clocking this for what it is. These people are liars, and they're going to get what they get. There are other avenues and other ways for you to get this done. And that is what you've realized over the course of the last year. I'm not running for anyone. I'm not being pressed for anyone. They'll get what I give them when they get it. See, this is a bill collector. You're like, yeah, we need to haggle on this price. And we need to come to a new agreement. We need to come to a new number. So you've been breaking down figures, numbers, debt, agreements, contracts, and it's no small feat. You have felt robbed. Like it's just a straight up burglary. Whoever was trying to take this money from you. The numbers were shocking. The news was shocking. It was not something you could sweep under the rug without feeling extremely uncomfortable. It was like this dark cloud over your head. And now you're finally closing out this cycle to where you can stand tall and say, that doesn't bother me. You don't scare me. So these people, they had ways of fear-mongering you. They had ways of scaring you. They had ways of, it reminds me of like scare tactics. So let's say you're in school, like just an example. It's like being in school and the principal saying, I'm going to suspend you. I'm going to expel you if you don't do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or your teacher saying, I'm going to suspend you or expel you if you don't do your book report or did it, like just things that don't need to have so much like fear-mongering involved, that had fear-mongering involved. And it had you really scared because you were in unfamiliar territory and you wanted to do good and you wanted to do right. And by doing what you thought was right, you got more than you needed to get got. And so then there's this guilt of, I got by them. And now I'm mad and I feel dumb and I feel like maybe I am an imposter, or maybe I shouldn't be in this relationship, or maybe I shouldn't be an entrepreneur. And that is simply not the case. Yes, they got you when you were vulnerable, or they got you when you thought you had it figured out, or you thought you could finally celebrate or take a breather. And that really stirred something in you where you're like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So again, you have shocking good news coming in. Let's find out what it is, because so far I know you have an inheritance coming in, a lump sum relief. Whatever you were struggling in before, you're not going to be struggling in anymore. And this is good, because whatever new stuff is coming in, it's going to show you don't got to fork that over to just any old body. Okay, so maybe things the last 6 months to a year have been trickling in because of this stress. You having to change your baseline, having to decompress, having to take better care of yourself, having to not let this get to you. Now your money is going to start flowing in avalanches. It's going to start coming in avalanches versus like nickeling and diming or trickling in slowly. And now that it's going to build or be even bigger, you're going to know exactly what to do with it. You are realizing that whoever betrayed you, it was all lies. It was all a show. They do this all the time. And you will never fall for that again. Somebody was lying to you. They were faking. The things that they were saying just were simply not true. And it made you feel like you had a false identity, or they were able to infect your life in such a way. It was a very big betrayal, unexpected. So let's see what is coming in for you, because I see you guys healing. Viral. You guys are not, I get scared to shuffle some of my decks because I know there's not a lot of good cards in them. But when we need like the blunt, the real, like here we go. Viral. You guys are going viral. Now, this could mean two different things. Actually going viral or success. Like all of a sudden, success. And you could think, oh, I've been waiting for that, or it's not going to happen to me. Yes, it is. You are closing out a very important cycle. You have a new baseline. You need to be easier on yourself. Sometimes you're too receptive to information or being influenced, and you will use that information to be even harder on yourself. Like, let's say you finally got your health together and then a health video pops up in your feed and you're like, oh, that's something else that I'm not doing and I should start doing that. But instead of that helping you, it makes you worse and more stressed out. That is something that you're going to start letting go of. Like, no, I deserve this. I deserve to shine. I have been putting in the work. I have been getting better. So from it below, I have been getting better. More is on the way. Like, you don't need to be in this pressure cooker of what you did for the last 2 years. Whatever you were doing for the last 2 years did not help. And you saw that firsthand. And don't let outside or external influences make you feel like you're still doing it wrong. No, you just started doing it right. So don't let that get you aggravated or caught up in your feelings, caught up in your emotions, because you are so much further along than you were before. You're communicating differently. You're standing up for yourself. You're being very blunt, Yeah, I'm not doing that. Because I do feel like people try to pressure you, like, no, you have to pay this. You have to do this. You have to do it this way. And I see you, because of what you've gone through, saying, I'm not doing that. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm willing to do. That's what it is. When last year you wouldn't even think of saying that. You wouldn't even think of doing that. So you are closing out this karmic cycle of these people that have been lying to you. You figured it out. The outcome is you figured it out. And you're going to have a different support system. Now, what fell on the ground is ghosting and privilege. You haven't been feeling your spiritual rank. You haven't been feeling privileged. Like, I worked so hard and I don't even feel like I'm reaping any benefits, really. I feel like I'm reaping all the bad stuff and none of the good stuff. So we have squad. Your inner circle is changing. So you're going viral. You're figuring things out. People that thought you were going to finish last, no. You are putting yourself back together again. This is your destiny. This is your future. This is your rebirth. And your spiritual rank is getting brighter and easier for you to see. Like, oh, yeah, this is my spiritual rank. This is my rank in life. I am winning. I am successful. I am upgrading. Oh, I'm hearing, baby, let me upgrade you. Okay, let's see what else is going on. People are going to be a little upset with the fact that you're loving yourself now. Oh, well, you are going to be very, very private. Some of you guys are feeling grateful. You wouldn't have said this a year ago, but you're now feeling grateful for this form of sabotage, as mad and angry as it made you, because now you know how like forceful and assertive and blunt you have to be so it never happens again. When somebody tries to say, oh, this is what you have to do, you're like, no, I'm not doing that. And you're going to stand very firm on that. You are standing on business like never before. You are acquainted with your spiritual rank and you are not backing down. You're going to dig deeper. Like, hey, I was in this trench by myself for 1 to 2 years or maybe even 5. And y'all made it seem like this was the worst thing ever. And I felt so alone. And I will never, ever betray myself in that way, make myself suffer like that again. I will never do that again. So, and you're not even going to explain all of that. You're just going to say no. No is a complete sentence. You are not going to let people negotiate your no. You are not going to let them gaslight you. And if you didn't go through all of that, you wouldn't know that you were being gaslit. You wouldn't know that. Like, you wouldn't know these things. So it's actually a good thing that you went through this, because now that all of this good stuff is coming in and you've detoxed, you've purged, you released, you reset. You're still a little bit triggered when you hear things tied to the situation, but you are ready to close out this cycle because you are acquainted with the facts and that it can't get any worse than what you went through, and everybody else is just going to wait. They are going to have to wait. They're going to have to take a beat. They're going to have to hold on. They're going to have to pause until you're ready. So like I said in the beginning, hold my Barbies, hold my Oxygen, hold my little dog too. They're going to have to wait. They might not like it, but oh well. Anybody that was benefiting off of you getting a cut of what you're doing, oh, that's changing. Cycle closed. That is changing. That cycle is closing. So let's say this was an accountant or a lawyer, your tax person, your manager, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, they were getting a cut of how well you were doing. And now you're seeing they're getting a cut of what I've got going on. So sometimes depending on your specific situation, it will benefit them if you're doing good or doing bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, they are trying to find all these different ways to benefit off of what you had going on. And now you're going to be doing things so differently. Like, I said what I said when I said it. You don't like it? I don't really care. Oh my gosh, these cards are flying. We have Karen. We have Karen and we have Copycat. So there are people that are upset that you're a free spirit. There are a lot of people that don't know how to stand on their own 2 feet, or they're very jealous or envious of the things that you've been building. Like, they're shocked. Let's be real. They're shocked that you've been building these things on your own. And so when they look at what you've got going on in comparison, they're like, dang. But you have a different sense of gratitude. You're not entitled like these other people feel entitled to your blessings. Like, this is crazy. Like, you can't just feel like what I got going on is yours. So it doesn't matter if it's the roof over your head. You're so grateful. It doesn't matter if you're sleeping in your car. You're so grateful that there's a car to sleep in, or that you have money to get food. These people are walking around so entitled, whoever you're dealing with, and they don't understand how you have a certain gratitude for even the smallest things that people take for granted. So you had somebody that thought they were the whole sun, the moon, and the stars. And then you walked into the room. Now they're a whole shade lamp. And they're pissed because they're showing people they're trash. You already had your mental breakdown. Now the karmics around you are losing their mind. They're having meltdowns because they took advantage of you in some way. So I know some of you are going to be feeling bad for some of these people. Like, dang, they're really going through it. Like, their issues hitting the fan. Like, dang, what is going on in their life? And it's because they were trying you. Bestie, they were trying you while you were losing your mind, as you were stressing out. And they weren't being comforting. They weren't giving you a lending hand. They were benefiting. They were benefactors of your pain. They were benefiting every time you were winning and every time you were sad. That is no. So whoever these people are, they were splurging, winning off of you winning, benefiting off of you being sad. And now they're having their mental breakdown. And it's being broadcasted. You are closing out this cycle and it is being broadcasted that these people thought they were bougie and bad. And oh my gosh, I've got this. And you can handle that. It's so easy. What? They were trying to create an image of wealth. And they're being put on blast for trying to create an image of wealth. When you are the real Slim Shady. You are the real image of wealth. So affirm it below. I am acquainted with my spiritual rank. I embody legacy. I embody real wealth. 11:11 on my timer. So these people are being outed. They're being embarrassed. They're being publicly exposed for trying to gas you up. Trying to act like, oh, I'm so supportive. But they're just benefiting. Trying to splurge to impress. These people have been living, some of them have been living beyond their means. And now they're going through it. Don't feel too bad, okay, because they're going through it. They were stealing. And you don't have to explain to anyone what's going on in your life, okay? Because some of these people, they really want to know like what you're up to because you're not telling them anything anymore. You're being very like cut, dry, to the point, just very assertive, very blunt, like one sentence at a level 1 monotone, and they're like, well, they're not giving me emotion. Oh, they're not smiling. They're not really telling me what's going on. It's because you are closing out this cycle and you are doing better without them already. So you started to understand that there was trouble lurking anytime this person was near. You had to create a new baseline. You had to heal. You had to purge. You had to reset. You had to mend. You had to sew yourself back up together. And now these people are like, well, what's going on? You can be a free spirit now. Now you can walk towards these people and say, we won't be doing it that way anymore. If this is your person's family, we're not doing it that way anymore. If this is somebody that was supposed to be helping you, we're not doing it that way anymore. They might not like it, but oh well. So unfortunately, there's a lot of justice unfolding for those that were acting real slimy. They're trying to bro and sis you like, oh, we're bros. Oh, we're sisses. No, we're not. We're none of the above. Trying to act like you guys were family or closer than you actually were. Trying to act like they were proud of you. Where were they at when you were struggling? Not giving an F. Not making it easy. And some of these people had information to make your life easier and they didn't give any of it. They were like, I'm a human calculator. This is what it is. Bye. Or I'm just telling you everything in black and white. I don't know what you want me to do. You're going to have them swerve. you clock BS on another level right now. You will be quick to dismiss those that you don't even want near your corner. You're going to start doing things different. So I see you guys being very stern as you close out this cycle, because you're not going to get got on the way out. And then on top of that, you're going to get a new plan in place. You're going to close this out. And a lot of you are working on a plan or devising a plan to where you don't have to deal with these people again. If you are able to. You're like, I'm going to hire a new manager. I'm going to hire a new accountant, a new lawyer. Okay, I'm going to close out this cycle. I'm going to close out this case with them. But we aren't going to do this again. No, we are not. You are not going to let any of them create another L for you, another setback for you. Because the last setback they caused cost you big, huge. It's not happening again. No, it is not. You really had to try to fight some of these people off. Like, no, stay in your lane. I got so much to sort out. I don't need your assistance right now. And they are still trying to come back in. So right now you're figuring out, what am I going to do? I'm turning my back. I'm trying to sort this out. I'm trying to create a new plan. I'm trying to practice my new plan. I'm implementing new things. So you are becoming the CEO of your life. We have the Empress, the Star, the Emperor, the Queen of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles. You are creating new wealth. You are the Star. Some of you guys are becoming a power couple. Getting full support from the love of your life. That's like, oh, don't worry about them. Don't you worry about them at all. And you are going to be creating legacy, wealth. You embody wealth. It is your turn to be taken care of for all of the bossing up you've had to do. You have created a new baseline, and it will not be disrupted. Okay, these people they're getting karma for talking about you, acting ratchet towards you like it's not a big deal, for creeping and trolling and stalking. They're just mad because you're loving yourself now, and you refuse to beef with them. You refuse to go back and forth with them. You can see that like something's not right with them, that they are on something, or they're like, they've got things going on. You're going to drop the mic on them because you're not in alignment. They're high, they're drunk, they got bad habits. You guys are just disconnected. There's a disconnect for a reason. Them having unpaid bills is not your problem. This is also part of their karma, part of their justice. Their toxic relationships that are being exposed, part of their karma, part of their justice. Let's see what else we have going on for you guys. These people, I literally can't. You're like, I want calm. I want peace. I'm no longer going to let people influence me because I'm new to this. So you've been trying to figure out ways to not be brand new to this. That's what you've been going through for the last 1 to 2 years. And now it's going to be easier and faster. Somebody is getting more traction online. So some of you guys could have started a social media. You're going to be getting attention online. These people that have been stealing from you, they're getting caught red-handed. So you could even be trying to slow play someone that has been stealing from you. Trying to back out of there and figure out a way to keep them away from your piggy bank. Keep them away from what you've been working on. Because maybe you have a contract or an agreement and you're trying to figure out, like, how can I get out of this? So I see you guys getting angelic assistance to settle this. I'm hearing this score. Settle this score once and for all. You guys are also being re-energized because this has been really draining for you. Like soul sucking. And It's like these people think that they can just keep doing this over and over and over again, that like you're this vending machine. That is how people are looking at you, like, oh, it's fine. I'll just act like I don't want this stuff from them, but I do want this stuff from them. You're clocking people in such a different way. Again, you have good news coming in. You're going to be really happy with the outcome of this craziness because you really went through it to heal it, to fix it, to mend it. And so you are going to be rewarded for that, for taking better care of yourself. You are being rewarded with more energy, more clarity, more audacity to tell people to back it up. Because what you went through was a setback that these people had caused. Wow, Tower came out. What you went through was a setback that these people caused. And it was a rough patch, to say the least. And they kept taking and taking and taking, and now they want to yell for you as they're being thrown out of the tower. I don't think so. Hearing that from that movie Clueless. I don't think so. Like, as if. Yeah, no. People really see that you've got a lot figured out, even though they might not tell you that, because they benefit off of you needing them. So they don't want you to have things figured out. But they see that you have it figured out and they can benefit off of you. This is kind of like, oh my gosh, the devil. This is like making a deal with the devil. Or it reminds me of, say it's a family member that you don't trust. They know you're really busy, or you're busy with the kids and you're bouncing babies on your, you got one on each side and they're crying. And you have a family member that you don't really F with is like, oh, let me go pay these bills for you. Like, I got it. What do you want me to go pay? Like, I'll help you. Of course I would do that for you. I love you. Like, all the things. They're full of it. And them not really going to go do that. People are like, let me take that for you. Let me take that off of your plate. Oh my gosh, let me feed the babies. Let me do this for you. No. And before I could even get that part out, this came out. No. 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 They have caused a big upset, a big upheaval in your life that disrupted your happiness for months. For months, if not years. You are allowed to turn your back on this situation because you've been healing. Don't let them come in and upset all that you have worked hard to rectify, to fix. Because that is exactly what they'll do. They'll cause another setback and then you won't see them for however long. So you are figuring out ways to get out of this situation. Because they want to keep you tethered to them as this vending machine. They know that you have everything balanced and they know that you're generous. They know that you have it like that. That you would give people the shirt off of your back. That you're doing better than before. And these people are taking it before you can even enjoy it. They're taking it before you can even enjoy it. I don't think so. Yeah, they've caused a lot of pain, sleepless nights, aggravation, just incredibly unfair. But you took that pain and you transmuted it. 8 of Cups again. You have transmuted it. You're like, yeah, I'm done here. I'm done here. I'm moving on. So you've been practicing some of these skills yourself. Wow, Queen of Pentacles. Some of these skills that, you're like, I'm bad at math, but I'm going to learn. Or I'm bad at this, but I'm going to learn. So you started practicing. You rebuilt your, I'm dropping everything. That was a strength card. You're rebuilding your strength. You know how to transmute things and it makes people upset. These people were emotionally manipulating you. They know how to pull on your heartstrings. They know how to get you where you're sensitive or where you're vulnerable. Like, they know that you care for people, so you don't want to see anybody crying or sad or suffering. They know how to breadcrumb you. They know how to gaslight you. Because whatever you were dealing with, these are serious things. So they knew where your insecurities were and where you didn't have all of the knowledge. And then they used that to their advantage. And they wonder why they're having a whole meltdown, why their life is falling apart. Don't mess with God's chosen. Don't mess with people that did not send for you. Y'all did not send for them. So I don't know why they're out here thinking that they can just do whatever the frick. It's not going down like that. The Empress, again. You are destined to be abundant, unbothered, unfazed. Don't at me. I don't want to hear your dusted, busted, fake apology. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Like, I'm good on you. Like, you're good on all of these people. And so you know what you have to do, which is close it all out. And you're going to do it different. Moving on this year, moving on from this, that has really hurt you. Because maybe you didn't heal in time to close out this cycle, but you have your exit, somewhat of an exit strategy. You're ready to do it different. You're like, yeah, this time next year, we won't be dealing with them. Like, you're getting ready to get people that are properly vetted. You've learned from the people that have taken advantage of you. And so you're going to transmute this. You're going to create a beautiful moment out of it. This was a lot of lemons that you were handed at a time where you were going through a lot, sacrificing a lot, and very vulnerable. And these people took you for a ride. So, though you were doing the best that you could, you see the toll that it took on you. And you're like, I'll never let that happen again. I got to fix this. I got to close it out. I got to stand on business. Maybe you have to finish out a contract or finish out an agreement. So that's why you're going to be stern and just like to the letter, like, no, moving on. No, not going to do that. Okay, next. Because you're going to fire all of these people from your life. They're not going to like it, but oh well. These people were in cahoots with dark forces, and that's why a lot of things were feeling heavy and hard and unbearable at times. And your angels, your spirit guides have been coming in to assist you, to show you where these dark alliances are, to give you confirmation that you don't need to do their bidding. You don't have to give them everything that they're wanting to try to take from you. Your angels are assisting you with the things that need to be said about this situation and the cycle that you're going to be closing out to make it easier for you to make the decisions that you need to make. You sent out a prayer. You asked for help. That help is here. You know how I'll be saying, like, help is on the way. Like, the help is here. The help is here. So you are also about to get the green light in something that you were working on, or maybe it's closing out this cycle. You're going to get the green light that it's actually going to be okay. This contract it's going to be ripped up because you're not agreeing to it anymore. You're like, yeah, I don't think I want to do this the way that they wanted me to do it. So like, I think I'm good on y'all. You're getting assistance with this contract being ripped up. You have figured it out. You have leveled up. You've become the Queen of Pentacles. You will be the silent millionaire. So I'm getting that you are getting approved. You will be very satisfied with this outcome. We have stay in your body. So again, this ties back to the new baseline in your life. Healing, true strength, and being present. When you were dealing with this issue, it was hard for you to be present because you wanted to be anywhere else but your body. So this was a big lesson in when we go through something traumatic, the natural response is to disassociate. But disassociation is a mechanism of the psyche to temporarily protect us until we're ready to see reality, a form of self-preservation. So you are transforming your pain into a teacher. You are transforming this pain into medicine, into wisdom. You are allowing yourself to heal. So only listen to the advice that you are in alignment with. You might get some advice that is contradicting to what you've been doing. Let's say you get some advice and you've already been working on something and you know that in the past it hasn't worked for you for whatever reason. Don't even bother trying it again. Don't get yourself stressed out. It's you dealing with the new baseline of calm and not scanning for threats. Like, oh, I mean, I did try that before, but it didn't work. And maybe I should try it again because they're saying this and it went through my feed for a reason. Like your angels and guides are trying to high key with signs and banners and flashing lights and animals and birds tell you that, yes, your true strength was tested, but you are healing. Stay present. Stay present. Okay, we have honesty. Your honesty is gonna burn, burn, burn this ring of fire. People are gonna be shook. If they haven't seen you in a long time, the people that are tied to this cycle, they're gonna be really surprised that you're talking to them the way that you're talking to them. Because you're not just gonna let them handle whatever the frick for you and then let them screw you over again. Because if they would screw you over in front of your face, what the frick would they do behind your back? Like, oh, let me take this for you. Let me make you a casserole. No, if I can't trust you here, I'm not trusting you over there. Bye. Okay. You are going to start glowing up again. You've been preserving yourself the best that you can, trying to get better, trying to heal. And now you're being activated. In this activation, you're getting more confidence. You're getting more reassurance from the universe. You're getting more energy. Oh my gosh, we have inner child innocence. This situation definitely robbed you of some of the joy and innocence and the excitement of this being new, a new venture, a new adventure. They sucked the joy right out of it. Like you were enjoying it. You were about like at the peak of it, the height, and they ruined it. Sirens. So that made it hard for you to want to keep going. It made it hard for you to want to finish strong or to keep going through this. You're like, well, if this is just going to be the outcome, like, what's the point? What is the point then? So now that you've gotten to the bottom of that, you are returning to your innocence, but still standing on business. Being more private. You're not going to over-explain. If they don't like the answers to what you have to tell them, like you're not being rude, but you're just saying what you need to say. Like, yeah, I did that before and we're not doing that again. So moving on. So you are coming home to yourself. I'm going to read some of the back of this. When we lose touch with our inner child, we lose touch with our true life. Do you feel like you have lost connection to spirit and your heart? Without a thriving inner child, life is not life. Our inner child hides under layers of trauma, of things that have happened to us. So allow your inner child to come back into your heart. She is the true you. It is time to come home. Because you have felt far away from that, like you couldn't relax until this situation was settled, until this situation was dealt with. And then the next card, oh my gosh, is cycles. You are ready to move on to the next cycle. You're ready to close out this cycle. We have tiger energy, presence, stillness, and respect. People will have to respect you whether they want to or not. Okay, you know how to roar without saying a word, and now your presence says, I am worthy. Okay, I don't know what type of game you're trying to run. I don't care. Okay, I'm not going to get into a back and forth with you, but I am worthy. I am worthy. Then we have ascend. Your angels want you to release this. They want you to feel light again. They want you to float. Have you been seeing feathers? I've seen 3 feathers, like big feathers this week. Let me know how many feathers in the comments you've seen. I am also hearing moths. Let me know if you guys have been seeing moths or feathers. That is synchronistic to what your angels are trying to tell you. As you shake the heaviness from your soul, you ascend effortlessly into peace and contentment of your heavenly being. The hard part is over for now. Yeah, because this has felt heavy for a long time for you. You're like, oh, I don't want to think about it. It's so heavy. It just takes the joy right out. Just poof, makes it disappear. Conclusion. See, you're ready to end this book and start the new one. That old book, you're like, all right, been there, done that, learned that. Not doing that again. Let's start the new one. Let's start the new book. Okay, we have the Angel Oak, Healer, Roots, Wisdom. Your roots are strong. You are stable. You need to give yourself more credit for the fact that you ain't going nowhere. Okay? God has fertilized the seed. Now all it needs is to be showered with faith and absorb the warm rays of the divine promise. Yes, you are awakening, but you are still buried beneath the surface. It feels like a blossoming is taking, you feel like this blossoming or a new peak is taking forever. And you've been really patient. But whatever this was that like took you out, you needed to go through. Because it's giving you wisdom. You are destined to be a great healer in all that you do. Because all this ish makes you rigid. You are destined to be a healer. You are destined to be floating, to be the empress, to be the CEO, to be assertive, and to move around people that are honest, that are in alignment with you. Whoa, sorry microphone. We have oath. You're making a new promise to yourself. If this was a relationship, you're like, I'm never going to let somebody talk to me that way again. I'm never going to let somebody do that to me again. I know the signs now. Now we know the signs of what, what happened before, and we're making a promise to ourselves. That's another thing. You need to be proud of the promises that you've made to yourself and kept. Despite this tower that came in. You are going through a really big transformation. And sometimes we fall for things, and sometimes we get tricked, and oh my gosh, I literally can't. I'm just gonna.
2,000 years later.
You will be feeling more connected to the divine and seeing through all the people that tried to catfish you. And even though this was tough love for you, you're going to leave people stunned, haunted, mesmerized by the fact that just because you're a pretty face or you're very attractive or because you have it going on does not mean that they can just try to, take you for a ride. You are showing people like you're the catfish, you're artificial, you're real fake, and I'm good. I'm good on you. Yeah. Things are being exposed to you, and it's going to be for your highest good. So you will be emanating royalty. The fact that you are connected to source. And then we have the world. See, you're graduating. You're going to get to play again. So it's like if you were on this roller coaster and you were excited, like, yeah, I'm excited. And then you never wanted to go on roller coasters like this last 1 to 2 years because you're like, forget it. That bad experience, it freaking traumatized me. Everything went to crap as soon as I was at the peak, at the height of it. Like, no, I'm not doing that again. And so now it's like you're ready to go on the roller coaster again. You're ready to live. You're ready to have fun. That you are admitting to yourself, like, yeah, these people hurt me and they disappointed me, and I would like to not go through that again, but you will be doing much better without them. Not telling them anything. Your inner circle is changing. Your squad is changing. You're going to be icing people out, passing out brick walls, and, shifting your inner circle. Like, no, you got to go. You have to go. Bye. I don't care where you go. People don't like that. Like, what do you mean you don't care where I go? Like, people are like, well, I need your help. Well, I'm sorry. I needed your help. Where were you at? You're going viral. You are dropping mics, showing people I got it figured out, and I have real friends. You are creating a real family, a soul family, a soul tribe, a real connection. Oh, okay, Spirit's telling me real connections are about to start forming. That is some of the really good news that you have coming in that you are not expecting. Real ones in your corner. Okay, some of us are not used to... we're lucky if we can get one friend. I also seeing you being an advocate for people that are getting picked on. People that are getting messed with. It's really going to bother you. So this version of you that has been, taken advantage or picked on, you might not even normally be confrontational, but you will be standing up for yourself and others. It might be really hard for you to mind your business because it's going to be really hard. Because once you're standing up for you and you see other people trying to pressure them, trying to bully them, trying to take advantage, like it's going to stir something up in you. And I do see that even if these people are not your close friends, they're really going to appreciate this in you. I had this happen with a neighbor. She's getting picked on by another neighbor, and it's obvious that he wants like beef with her or an altercation with her, and I really don't like it. It really bothers me. And my husband's like, mind your business, doesn't involve you. And I'm like, what he's doing is wrong. Okay, he's starting problems with her. She's just minding her business. Like, he needs to stop. Like, trying to mind my business, you guys. But yeah, it's not good for me to get involved, but sometimes I really want to. Like, it's like I was a lawyer in a past life. Like, let me be your defense. Are you that friend that now that you're assertive and you stand up for yourself, when your friends are getting got or bamboozled, you're like, oh, I wish I was there. I would have said this, that, and the third. You're like, let me put my 2 cents in it. Okay, let me put my 2 cents in it. But know this, bestie, your 2 cents matters. Don't be fooled. Your 2 cents matters. Because it is giving people the bravery. But something that could get under your skin is so many people are dealing with like real life problems and bigger issues. So for people to just want to have beef and problems and start shit, you ain't about that. You ain't about it. Like, some people have just never been humbled. And that's how I kind of look at that situation. I was like, that person's never been humbled. Or they've never been jumped. Or they've never been in a fight. Because there are like real things that could happen to you and you need to calm all the way down. Or even if you're trying to intimidate her, I don't like that either. I don't like that either. Like, I just think, I'm not even going to get into that, but maybe you really don't like when other people are getting picked on and you never felt like you were able to have a voice and it matters. Oh, people are listening and your voice matters. So I feel like it's just going to be changing the people that you stand up for. That's another thing is, before you were maybe standing up for the wrong people. You're like, oh, obviously they're good because they're like this or like that. Then you realize that these people were the bad ones, the bad apples, the ones that were taking you for a ride. So now you're more careful of who you're standing up for. But there is something in you that's like, You're like the Robin Hood. You're the underdog. Like you're the leader of the underdogs. It is foot on neck season. A lot of these people are melting the F down right in front of your very eyes. And it's going to take a lot for you as an empath to not throw yourself in their emotions. Remember that you get easily zapped. And that all that they did to you really took a toll on you, your mental health, and like F that and F them. Like where were they at when you were at the doctor's? When you weren't sleeping well, when you were having nightmares, when you were trying to get the money together, when you were trying to get everything together, like where the frick were they at? Remember the people that benefited off of your downfall. Remember the people that benefited off of these issues that were caused. Not cool. Like not cool at all. So, is there anything else? I just feel like you're going to be falling in love again with your life. Because there's this song that's been stuck in my head. And it's called Fall in Love Again, Fall in Love Again, Fall in Love Again, Fall in Love Again. And it's a hard song to explain, but I'll see if I can find it and share it with you guys in the community tab. But yeah, these people they're not in love with their life. They're not in love with their life. And it's going to show. It's time for you, through all the energy work that you've had to do, it's time for you to fall in love with your life again. For you to return to your innocence. For you to let your inner child play. Ooh, we have creativity, idea, imagination. So this is giving 5th house. I am seeing that after you close out, whatever this is, you're going to be thrilled. Like, it's over. At least I know what's going on. Like, you're going to get some answers. You're going to get some closure. You're going to get some answers. And then you're going to know how to proceed. Okay, so I feel like everyone's kind of in different groups. Like, there's one group of you where this is a relationship. And then there's, like, family members getting involved. So you're going to know how to proceed. There's others of you where this is, like, a legal issue. And you're going to get some closure, some clarity. And then you're going to know how to properly vet and, like, move on. Does that make sense? Like, you guys are all going to have different ways of proceeding. But the end of that is you feeling safe. Like, you know what to do now. You don't have to be scared. You don't have to be worried. You don't have to be concerned. Because you're never going to let these people project these fears onto you. Like, oh, you got to take care of that. You should be scared. You're realizing who's projecting and who is the benefactor of things going awry in your life, or them acting like they're a helping hand, but they're not really a helping hand. And just see you empowering yourself. Okay. Holy Spirit, anything else? I am getting a lot of soulmate energy too. So if you are in a divine union, people see you guys as a power couple, or they look up to you guys. Like, that love does exist. So maybe Fall in Love Again. That song. It's called Romance. Something. I don't know. I'll have to share it in the community tab with you once this video is up. But I just see you being more confident in your decisions. Like, what's the worst that could happen after I went through this, and that? What is the worst that could happen? Like, you're not going to care about people excluding you. You're not going to be, spiritual rank fell on the ground. You're not going to be concerned. Like, you're acquainted with who you are right now. People aren't going to be able to scare you off from the life that you deserve. We have Alpha. You're going to be the leader. You are going to dominate. You're going to be fearless. Ooh, I like that. You are going to be dangerously fearless. You guys let me know what's going on in the comments. If you guys are looking for exclusive content, Patreon link is down below. If you're looking for ways to donate to the channel, Cash App is down below. But the best ways that you can donate are smashing the thumbs up button, liking, sharing, subscribing, all of those things support, and they're much appreciated. Yeah, just thank you guys. I love you so much. I hope this message finds you well, and I will talk to you guys in the comments or the next one. If you made it to the very, very end, affirm below, I'm ready to fall in love again. I'm ready to live my best life, okay? So either you falling, it's like this new romance. Like your life is going to be this whirlwind romance, or prepare to be swept off of your feet. I'm ready to be swept off of my feet. Whatever affirmation. Whatever. I just know that you guys will let me know if you made it to the very end. I love you guys. Bye.